KPS are at this castle. This castle was built in 1590. This is the only door into the castle and it's the only door out of the castle. So basically it's only one entrance. Above the door there is an inscription and it reads something similar to "Blessed be the name of the Lord." This work was begun Saturday, March 1590 by Thomas Hay of Park and Jeanette McDowell, his spouse. So what we'll do now, we'll go into the castle and let's go and have our first look. Welcome to the castle. The first thing you're greeted to as you walk into the building is this unbelievable echo. Everything echoes as soon as you walk in. This is the front door, very heavy, very solid, quite hard to shut. I don't know if you can actually hear the echo on camera. There is a front door key, so that's what we used to get into the castle. As you walk into the castle, you turn right, brings you to this little corridor here, and this corridor here would have been the servants' working area. This is where they actually work down here, the servants. And you can see this little hatch here on the window. And this hatch was the servants' hatch. This is where they used to give the food on trays to the other servants, who then used to take it upstairs to the laird, the head of the house. So in this room, as you can see, you're greeted as soon as you walk in here with a really big fireplace area. This is where they would have done all the cooking for the family upstairs. And you can actually walk in the fire now because it isn't a fire. But I'm actually in the fire now. This is where the fire would have been burning. And I'm actually stood underneath the chimney. As you look up the fireplace, the chimney goes on for quite a way. I wouldn't say how many feet. I don't know if you can actually see that on camera. But right up there is the chimney top. As I say, I'm not sure how many feet it is. I couldn't tell you. But it does go quite a fair way. So that's this area. Up here on the ceiling there's a hook, and the hook that's that side of the room, and what they would have done, the servants would have put the cooking pots on here and the water would have drained out the cooking pots, and that's what these hooks were for. We also came across this little box and we opened it up. And inside the box it was lined with all this old newspaper. And the newspaper, we actually found out it was dating back to 1850s, 1870s, and it's all around the Worcester Kidderminster area. Not sure what the history of it is to the castle, but I thought it was an interesting piece. So if you go back down the corridor we came in, there's a suit of armour here on the wall as well. I don't know if that's original, not sure, but it looks the part. And takes us into this room here. Right. And in this room there's a staircase here. This would have been the staircase only for the servants to use. It's very steep, very narrow, and that will lead you right to the top of the castle. And as I say, this was just for the servants only. That was their way up to the castle without disturbing the family above. So we're back at the main door again, and as you come into the main door, as you turn left, there's another staircase, which again is spiral. This would have been for the laird. This was his private staircase only. As I explained earlier in the other room, the steep one was for the servants. And as you walk up this staircase, I am now on the first floor of the castle, and this brings you to this door here. So we'll go to this door now. So this is the Great Hall. As you walk into this room, we're now on the first floor. As you can see, you're greeted by this great big dining room table. This is where the laird would have come and eaten. Apparently only used to eat once a day here. The castle is also allegedly haunted by a monk that apparently was murdered, and his body apparently is walled up somewhere in this castle. Not sure if that is a true story or it's a total fabrication, I don't really know. There's also allegedly a ghost of a green lady who walks around here. Apparently she worked at the castle and became pregnant, and her ghost has been seen on numerous occasions. But as again, beautiful room, as you can see, an absolutely lovely fireplace, so all pictures on the wall as well. And this castle does not have curtains. There's no curtains at all in the castle. What they have are these slats. And these are all around the castle, and all the bedrooms, every floor, and what they do. The big wooden doors, what's shut. And you push them through and you have this really big catch that goes over them. And there are curtains. Quite a good idea. I think that's what was rattling maybe in my room last night with the wind. I'm not really sure. And then you come over to this part of the room and there's another little private doorway here. This would have been the doorway for the lair, and this leads to another staircase, and this would have taken you, or the lair would have taken you to the sitting room. This would have been above here, and this is the way you would have gone. So we're now up on the second floor. As we go through this door, this leads to the lair's sitting room. Also, this would have been his private quarters. Also in the lair's sitting room, we found this little door. And if you go in here, it's, I don't know, I don't really know what it was used for, but it's a really, really spooky room. So as we leave the lair's sitting room, takes us through this door here, and this leads to a little corridor which takes us along here. And again on this side there's another staircase that leads down back to the kitchen area. That isn't the staircase we came up. So as we leave that staircase, this leads us into another room off the corridor. This leads us into a bedroom. So this was the bedroom that I stayed in last night, on my first night. This is where I actually slept. It was funny because in the night I did wake up at one point. To be honest, I honestly thought I heard a voice outside that shouted something like, "Oi!" But I don't know if it was or not, I don't know, but that's what it sounded like. I'm not saying it was paranormal, but that's what I heard. So we're now going up the staircase again. This time we're going up to the third floor. Again, no spiral staircase, like every staircase is in this castle. Every staircase is spiral. And as we walk up here, it takes us into this door, so we'll go through here. This leads us to another landing, and leads us to the door, which again is another bedroom. Walk down this little tiny corridor, it's not very long, leads us again into another bedroom. We'll go through here. Now this would have been the master's bedroom. This is where the laird would have slept. This is where I'm staying tonight. This is my bedroom tonight for night 2. So this is where I'll be sleeping tonight. Now the interesting thing about this room is I found this little room and I didn't think they had ensuite toilets in olden days, but as we walked through here I found this. And if you just look here, to me that looks like a toilet, which is what you sit on. Whether it is a toilet I don't know, but I'm sure this is like an ensuite toilet. I presume there was just a hole in the ground where you did whatever you needed to do. So I don't know, we'll see. I really don't know, but I think it is a toilet. So that's it, that's the master's bedroom. I'll be sleeping in tonight. Anything happens, I'll sure let you know. And then we go through here. So we're now going up to the 4th floor. So this is another level again. And this staircase is very steep and it's very spirally. This is where the servants would have come. So we're going up more towards the headquarters now. So watch your head, the cameraman. It's very narrow, very low ceilings here. So this takes us up here. And this takes us into a little single bedroom. Now this bedroom has a really weird smell about it. It's got a really weird odour. I don't know what it is, it smells a bit old fashioned, smells a bit mothbally, but this is what they call the cat bedroom. So basically that's it, a very small room as you can see. So as you come out of this little bedroom, as we call a cat bedroom, there is actually another floor above here, which is the 5th floor. It's there by a little door to your left hand side there, and that's where the servants would have actually gone up to sleep. That was their sleeping quarters up there. Unfortunately we can't gain access to that now because there's no ghosts live up there, it's the bats that live up there and we can't touch them. So that is the 5th floor, but as I say, unfortunately we can't get up that area. Okay, here I have a couple of witness testimonies from where people have actually stayed in the castle. I'll read them out to you. And somebody actually put it was the most nerve-wracking time ever. From the time we arrived, there was a menacing atmosphere about the place. Some of the things happening were hearing of footsteps rushing down the stairs, a feeling of being watched, and the downstairs kitchen stairs were avoided because there was such an eerie atmosphere. I had to have the lights on all night as the bedroom was just overpowering. I got the impression in my mind of 2 women just quickly going into a room upstairs when I came up the stairs. I am not too easily spooked. Somebody else put, it was an interesting night. We found there were various unexplained noises in the castle, and on the first night there was a loud hammering on the bedroom door after some male voice woke me up saying something that sounded like you. It was weird and it was obviously not a human, as we were the only ones in the castle and the front door was locked. But then it turned out that we lay in bed for the remaining nights listening to loud sounds from the 2nd floor, or it sounded like it. On viewing filming we did hear an old voice speak on the camera recorder as we filmed in the rooms, and it said something like we, or something that certainly sounded like that, and that was from the 2nd floor twin room also, where nobody slept. So that's just a couple of witness testimonies, what people have written as they've stayed in the castle. So this is night 3 here at the castle. I can't really say at the moment that anything's really spooked me. I think the first night was a little bit eerie. The wind was up that night, we was in bed, and there's all sorts of noises going on, especially being the first night. It was a little bit eerie, but I don't think it was anything paranormal. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm going down in the servants area tonight alone for an hour and a half or so. So we'll see if we pick anything up down there, and I'll let you know.